Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture of Irrigation Engineering. This is Sukamal Ghosh, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JS Group. In our last lecture, we have discussed a design problem based on Kennedy's Shield theory. Now in this particular video, we are going to discuss another design problem based on Kennedy's Shield theory. Apart from that, in this video, we will also discuss the certain limitations or drawbacks on Kennedy's Shield theory. Okay. So, our second problem has asked to design an irrigation channel using Kennedy's theory, okay, which carries a discharge of 40 cubic. Okay. Now, also the problem has asked to assume the value of m is equal to 1 and width to depth ratio means b by y ratio is 2.5, and also it is given that Coulter's rugosity coefficient is 0.023. okay, so let me write all the data that are given. Okay, so data given is discharge is given, that is 40 meter cube per second, then value of m is also given, that is 1, and the width to depth ratio is given, that is 2.5, and also the Coulter's rugosity coefficient n is given. Now if you consider this particular problem and based on the data given, and if you recall our last video where we discussed two cases of Kennedy's theory, you may conclude that this is the case 2 problem. Okay, so if we want to design the irrigation channel using this data, then we need to follow the design procedures that we discussed for case 2 in Kennedy's theory. It means we need to follow the steps that we discussed in the case 2 of Kennedy's theory. Okay, so let's design. So what is our first step to design considering case 2? See, if you recall our last lecture, we have discussed that our first step for case 2 should be assuming a cross section for the channel which we want to design. Okay, and we have also discussed that generally we consider trapezoidal cross section with a side slope of 1/2 horizontal and 1 vertical. Okay, so suppose this is our cross section, channel cross section, actually trapezoidal cross section. Okay, now the bed width is suppose b, the same as we consider for the last problem, and the side slope is 1/2 horizontal and 1 vertical, right? Now, so if this is the y, means the depth of the channel, then this is y/2, right, as we discussed in our last problem. So what was our step 2? If you recall, our step 2 was to derive an expression of area for this particular assumed cross section. Okay, so in the last problem we have derived the area of a trapezoidal cross section with a side slope of 1/2 horizontal and 1 vertical, and we have get that expression as A is equal to B into Y plus 1/2 into Y square. Okay, now for this particular problem the B by Y ratio is given. Okay, so this B by Y is equals to 2.5, right? It means the B is equals to 2.5 y. Okay, so if you put it here, then you will have 2.5 y. This is the value of this B into y plus half of y square. Okay, so you will have A is equal to 2.5 y square plus 0.5 y square. So it will be A is equals to 3y square. Okay, now what was our step 3? See, our step 3 is to use this expression, that is q equals to a v naught, to calculate the y and b, means the depth and width of the channel. Okay, so what is the value of this q? The value of the q is 40. Okay, we will have this 40, and the value of a is 3y square, right? So 3y square. And what is the value of v naught? See, we know that v naught is equal to 0.55 into m into y to the power 0.64. Okay, we'll put it here, 0.55 into m into y to the power 0.64. Okay, 43 into y square into 0.55, and what is the value of this m? Value of the m is 1. Okay, it is 1 into y to the power 0.64. Okay, now if you solve this expression, you will have y is equal to 3.34 meter. Okay, so we have get the value of y, right? And we know that b by y is equal to 2.5. So b is equal to 2.5y. So it is 2.5. The value of y is 3.34, right? 3.34. That means the value of b is equal to 2.5 into 3.34, and if you multiply it, you will have 8.35 meter. Okay, so now we have the value of y and b both. Okay, now what was our step 4? Our step 4 was calculate the value of v naught. The value of v naught is equal to 0.55 into m into y to the power 0.64. Okay, so it is 0.55 into m is 1, and the value of y, let me check, 3.34 to the power 0.64. Okay, so if you solve it, you will have 1.19 meter per second. Okay, now what was our step 5? Our step 5 was to calculate the weighted perimeter and the hydraulic mean radius using the weighted perimeter value. Okay, so we have derived the equation for the weighted perimeter in our previous problem, right? See, in our previous problem we have considered the same cross section, and for this cross section we have derived the length of this perimeter, which is the weighted perimeter, and we have got that P is equal to B plus root over 5 into Y. Okay, we have got this expression from our previous problem, right? So the value of weighted perimeter P is B plus root over 5 into Y. Okay, now the value of B is 8.34, then root over 5, and the value of Y is 3.34. okay, let me check. No, the value of B is 8.35 actually. Okay, now so if you solve it, you will have 15.81 meter. Okay, now so what was our step 6? In step 6 we have to assume a value of slope. Okay, so let us consider a slope. Let us assume the slope is 1 in 4000. Okay, now our step 7. Okay, now in step 7 we have to calculate the actual mean velocity, that is V. Okay, using either Kutter's formula or Manning's formula. Now in this particular problem, if you consider this problem, the Kutter's rugosity coefficient is given, that is 0.023. okay, so we will use the Kutter's rugosity equation to calculate the mean velocity. Okay, so we know according to Kutter's equation, that is V is equal to 1 divided by n plus 23 plus 0.00155 divided by S I1 plus 23 plus 0.00155 divided by S n root over R. Okay, so if you put all the values, that n is equals to 0.023 and this S is equal to 1 in 4000, and the value of R we have just calculated. Sorry, we didn't calculate the value of R. So from this, P value, we can calculate the R value. So R is equals to A by P. Okay, so the value of A is 3y, right? So from here we can calculate the value of A, that is 3 into the value of y, we have get that 3.34, right? So 3.34 whole square, then if you solve it, you will have 33.5 meter. Okay, so if you put it here, 33.5 divided by the value of P is 15.81. So if you solve it, you will have 2.12 meter. Okay, so let me put this value here, that is 2.12 meter. Okay, so if you put all these values, you will have this V equal to 1.114 meter per second. Okay, now our last step, that is step 8, is we need to compare the V and V naught, right? So what is the value of V that we have just calculated? That is 1.114, right? And what is the value of this V naught? The value of V naught is 1.19. So it is 1.19, right? Meter per second, and it is also meter per second. So V is not equals to V naught. So as we discussed that if V is not equals to V naught, then we need to repeat from step 6 to step 8 again. Okay, we need to repeat this step 6, step 7 and step 8 again. Okay, so what was our step 6? Our step 6 was we need to assume the value of S, means the slope value. Okay, so let us consider this time the value of slope is maybe 1 in 3700. Okay, now let me calculate the actual mean velocity using the Kutter's equation using this slope value of 1 in 3700. Okay, so the Kutter's equation is okay. So now if you put all the values like n is equals to 0.023, this S is equals to 1 in 3700, this R is equals to 2.12, then you will have this V equal to 1.189, okay, meter per second. So this is our step 6, this is repeated step 6, and this is our repeated step 7. Okay, now our step 8. In step 8 we need to compare the V naught and our calculated V, means the actual mean velocity and the critical velocity. Now the actual mean velocity that we have just calculated, it is 1.189 meter per second. Okay, and this value is 1.19 meter per second. So if you consider this value, this can be, you know, approximately 1.19. okay, so this time we can say that V naught is equals to V, that is critical velocity is equal to the actual mean velocity. Okay, so this time whatever assumption that we have taken are correct. Okay, so ultimately the design is, you have a trapezoidal section with 1/2 horizontal and 1 vertical side slope. Okay, this is one, and second is the bed width is 8.35 meter, the depth is 3.34 meter, and the slope is 1/3700. Okay, so these are the design parameters. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the drawbacks or the limitations of Kennedy's theory. Okay. Now the first and most significant limitation or drawback of Kennedy's theory that Kennedy haven't derived any equation or expression for the actual mean velocity. It means he hasn't given any expression for the actual mean velocity, that is v. He had given the expression only for the critical mean velocity, that is v naught, but he asked to use the Coulter's equation or the Manning's equation to determine the mean velocity or actual mean velocity of flow. That is why the limitations of Coulter's equation and the Manning's equation are also the limitations or drawbacks of Kennedy's theory. If he had given some equation or expression or maybe formula for the actual mean velocity, then the limitation of Kennedy's theory will be much less. Okay. Now, the significance of B to Y ratio means width to depth ratio is not considered in the Kennedy's theory. Apart from that, no equation for the bed slope has been given, okay, which may lead to varied designs of channel with slight variation in bed slope. Okay, since the bed slope is not given, if you change the bed slope just slightly, if you change it just slightly, then the design of channel may varied significantly. Okay. Now this theory involves trial and error, which is cumbersome. Okay. It is a time consuming method because as we just solve two numericals, we know that we perform some trial and error, right, to calculate the correct depth of the channel. So it is a time consuming method. Okay. Now the silt concentration means the silt charge and the silt grade means the types of the silt is not considered here. Okay. The complex phenomenon of silt transportation is incorporated in just a single factor, that is m, and moreover the value of m is decided arbitrary. No method or no expression is given to calculate this m, just like no expression or no method is given to calculate this mean velocity, or you can say the actual mean velocity. Okay. So these are the main limitations or drawbacks of Kennedy's theory. Now most of these drawbacks or limitations, you can say, is covered up by Lacy, who was a chief engineer of UP irrigation department, and he developed a theory which is known as Lacy's regime theory. Okay. So we will discuss this Lacy's regime theory in our next video. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Thank you.